Hello, princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. I actually should have changed my intro and said hello, little monster. It's because today we are looking at the newly reintroduced, redone, zhuzhed up Haus Labs by Lady Gaga Cosmetics collection that is now available, I believe, exclusively at Sephora. Let me start also by saying that though the summer releases are coming fast and furious, I have also picked up a little bit of a summer cold. So if you note me sounding a little like I have a radio voice all of a sudden, that's why. So bear with me here. Okay. As you probably know, years ago, I was going to say seasons ago, but we'll go in years, Lady Gaga did introduce a makeup collection that was available on Amazon. And it got some great reviews, some bad, kind of mixed. And I picked up one or two products, and they really weren't bad. They weren't my favorite, but I had so many of you, Pink Sparkle included, who were really pushing me to give it a try and give it another chance. And sure enough, Lady Gaga kind of took the whole collection back in and released it kind of afresh to Sephora. And it just launched at time of filming today. I am fortunate enough to have it in store by me. Many of you will need to order online, so I hope I can help you with that. The shade choices for this line are incredible. So we're going to talk about that. I picked up 6 different items, so I wish I could get them all, but I think I can kind of help you make a decision, and we're going to talk about it. I might be a little mismatched. I tried to kind of clean it up, but the demo, we're really going to talk about formula and wear and the look of the shades more than putting together a complete look, a true demo. All right, and we're going to do swatches both in studio lighting and outdoor lighting, so I hope I can get all your questions answered. Let's jump into it. Okay, here's what I picked up. We have the Bio Radiant Gel Powder Highlighters. They're $40 each, and they come in 10 shades, which for highlighters is crazy amount. I mean, 10 shades, and they're beautiful too. And they can go on the body, on the eyes, on the cheek. I mean, they can go really wherever you want. I'll show you that in the demo. I picked up a lighter and a darker shade. So you'll see it in a moment. I picked up Sun Story and Fire Opal. I'll show you those in a moment. I also picked up this High Power Eye, Cheek, and Lip Pigment. This comes in 20 shades. I chickened out and picked up the Blush Matte, but I mean, we're talking bright greens and blues and dark, because it goes everywhere. Now, interestingly enough, in my Sephora store, it actually didn't list, I don't remember that it was an eye color. I mean, it said unsafe around the eyes. And we can go back about that. That's the whole pigment thing. But I think it can be used on the eyes, and we will in the demo. You know, there's warnings about pigments in the eyes. They stain the eyes, whatnot. But I did use it on the eyes, and I'll show you that. But you could do cheeks, lips. So many of the colors really would be, like the bright green and bright blue, are really only suitable to the eyes. But that FDA warning is there. I've covered that so many times. If you have a question about that, just leave it below. So 20 shades, $24, and you'll see it in the demo. I also picked up a Monster Lip Crayon. Yeah, it looks like a Bic pen, doesn't it? But it is a lip crayon. And it is $22, and there's 13 colors. I picked up the Melon in Matte. This is great. It's a lipstick. It's a lip liner because it has a nice little point. It's amazing. Let's stop before I go into the other products I purchased. I really want to show you the packaging. Like the highlighter packaging is lovely. Look at that. It's kind of opal, and there's an H for Haus Labs in there. In the highlighter, I told you I picked up Sun Story, so that's this, and Fire Opal, the darker. I mean, you will find a highlighter that works for your skin with these 10 shades. And you will find a pigment that you like for lips, cheeks, eyes in these shades. I mean, there's 20 of them. The lip crayon, as I said, 13 colors. I got Melon Matte, and you saw that. Let's talk about the bronzer now. This is not a cream bronzer, shock of shocks. This is the Power Sculpt Velvet Bronzer. So it is a powder bronzer, and she has in both the, and here it is in the pan with the H again, and this one has kind of a bronze case, and they all have mirrors. This has Fermented Arnica in it. I bought shade 4. There are 12 shades of this bronzer. I'm going to suggest that you don't need it. It's a nice powder bronzer. What makes this bronzer unique, I'll just tell you already, is that there's 12 shades. And I speak to so many of you so often who just tell me you just can't quite get it right. You will here. And it has this It's $38, and it has this kind of proprietary ingredient that she is putting into her powder formulas, both her gel powder highlighter and this velvet bronzer. Arnica, you can let me know if I pronounced it incorrectly. It is my first introduction, and I thought I had heard of every ingredient. So we have our bronzer, 12 shades, $38. And then last but not least, but don't overlook it, is the PhD Hybrid Lip Oil. This guy only comes in 4 different colors, $24. I picked up the shade called Tint, T-I-N-T, Tint, and you will see that when we swatch it. They're all kind of clear with a little bit of a tint to them, and you'll see it better in my outdoor swatches. It's pretty, no scent to any of this. Clean beauty. Don't worry if you have allergies. Don't worry if you get migraines. No peppermint, no vanilla smell, no sweet smell, no anything. Very, very clean. Let's go to the swatches of the 6 products that I picked up from the collection. Let's take a look at them here. First, in studio lighting, let me let you know the way that they go. We have the Bio Radiant Gel Powder Highlighter, first in Sunstone and then Fire Opal, followed by the High Power Eye Cheek and Lip Pigment in Blush Matte. Then we have the Monster Lip Crayon in Melon Matte, followed by the Power Sculpt Velvet Bronzer in shade 4. And lastly, the PhD Hybrid Lip Oil in the tint called Tint. Can't see that well in this indoor swatch, but let's take those exact same swatches outside into the warm California sunshine, and you will definitely be able to see the shade in that lip oil. Take a look, same exact order. We have the highlighter, lip pigment, lip crayon, bronzer, and lip oil. Now, I will tell you that this collection also has some eyeliner that I didn't bother picking up, and maybe I will. And it just has a million other shades and some other fun things that go along with it. It's a big release. No eye palette, but I'll show you in the demo coming up that we can make an eye look quite easily with the powders and creams that we have here. So let's jump into that right now. Okay, so the point of this try on and demo today isn't even so much to do a complete look. Let's just kind of play with some of the colors and the formulas. Hopefully we'll get something presentable at the end, but I just kind of want to go from there. This collection has so many different shades. It was impossible to get them all, especially purchasing them, obviously. So we're going to have to just go by my skin tone, which is neutral, that helps, and light medium. I'm a pretty much neutral light medium across the board, so take that as your starting point, which clearly doesn't work for everyone, clearly, but I'm just letting you know. Okay, so I've got a ton of brushes, all clean. Let's try a few different things. Let's start with this eye, cheek, and lip pigment, which I think I told you in the intro, they list in the store as just a cheek and lip tint. So I don't know. Let's just try it. It's this stuff, you guys, is potent. I still have it. I was scrubbing it off my hand from trying it on in store. So let's just go gently, shall we? And just put a little bit on my finger. You've seen it already swatched. I just want to be super careful. And I brought over a Sonia G Fusion brush. I was just trying to make it match there, but it's going to dry. So, and this gets set. Okay. So gentle. But you know, it's really pretty. And it does not budge. I cannot wash the swatches that I did in store. I can't get them off my hand. And this is, I can't get it off my arm from when I swatched it here for video. But I went so gentle that it looks like I can do a little bit more, especially for you guys to be able to see it better. Let me remind you that this is the matte blush shade. You got to work, you should probably do one side at a time. Kind of tough to do with blush because you want to match. Okay. That's pretty. A little bit heavier on this side, huh? Yeah. Okay, I'm a little evened out better now. Okay. All right, now let's move on to this bronzer, which I just got in one shade, okay? I'm going to put a little bit on the eyes, too. Please forgive my raggedy old Sonia G brush, not Sonia G's fault, my fault. I just love it a little too much. This is very light, and I probably could have gone darker. This is shade 4, so I think I can just go in with Abandon and just warm up the face. If you're new to my channel, this is how I do. You have no need to come in comments and go, you go so fast. I know, we all know. It's okay. Just my style. That's pretty, right? Just kind of warmed up my face, under the neck, and I'm just kind of doing this new style bronzer that I've kind of always done, which is just warming up the entire face with it. And let me just take, I have here a Rephr number 1 brush, which is a favorite, and I'm just gonna take it there into this number 4 bronzer and just put it a little into the crease on my eyelid as well. I have a little bit of mascara on. This is the new Tarte tubing mascara, which I actually really like. I hear it's getting mixed reviews, but I like it. And I'm even going to take the same number 1 brush and run it under the eye a bit, just to find my eye a little bit more. From the information I have, I could have taken some of this eye, cheek, and lip pigment and put it on. Let's just do a little bit. Let's do it. In store, it didn't say that, but I mean, what can it hurt, right? I'll let you know in editing if it hurt. It won't. That's kind of pretty. And when you bring the blush shade up into your eyes, this side still looks like it has less, huh? When you bring the blush shade up into your eyes, it pulls the look together. So I'm not mad at that. That's really pretty. So far, so good. Let's try some of the lip products first, and then we'll mess with the highlighter. The highlighter is going to throw us off a little bit because I'm going to put 1 on each side since I bought 2. So I'm, you know, this looks like a ballpoint pen. I guess that's the point. The ballpoint. Do I want to fill it in? Or do I want to kind of, I have an idea. Okay, I want to put the gloss over. So look what I did here. And then I'm going to take this brush right here, which is a Rephr number 32. And just kind of blend it. Of late, you guys, I have been really enjoying eye brushes on my lips. You don't have to use a brush for its intended use. They wouldn't care of it. Rephr, I promise you. Okay, now let's put some of this lip balm, looking around. This is the shade Tint. Funnily enough, the lip tint only comes in 4 shades. No smell, no feel. This Clean Beauty, none of it has a scent. And the lip gloss, or I'm sorry, the lip oil, does not have a prickly feel, does not have a vanilla scent, does not have a peppermint prickle or cinnamon prickle. Straight up lip gloss. Doesn't feel goopy, feels much more like a treatment or an oil. And it's terribly pretty, especially over this pink, what shade did I get? The Melon Monster Lip Crayon. All right, now I'm most excited. I want to put this on the eye too. I'm most excited by the gel powder highlighter. So let's try Sunstone first. Some of these are very, very sparkly, you guys, in store, like glitter particles. So I tried to get some that weren't. This is going to be a lighter shade, so let's see if it goes yellow. I mean, it's golden, so it's going to be yellow to a certain extent. Let me just run it here. Okay, so it's yellow in the fact that it's gold. This might go a little bit yellower if you are lighter complected than I am, lighter skin tone. Let me take my finger on that too and just pop that onto the eyelid as well. Okay, now is when we start to look a little silly, because now we're going to take Fire Opal and put it on the other side. Grabbed another clean Sonia D brush. This is, of course, a much, much more intense highlighter that might look a little silly on my skin tone, but we're just playing. Oh, I prepared for the worst, and there's not really a worst to prepare for. I didn't even knock the powder off the brush, you guys. And I'll put down this mirror in just a moment so I can really show you, okay? Don't worry. Oh, I like that. This one for me would also work as a blush. Like maybe a powder blush atop the liquid blush that I just used a moment before. And let me take my finger and put it in here. Look at that on the eyes. You really don't need an eyeshadow palette, you guys. You put that bronzer in the crease. I even used a little bit of that liquid lip and cheek tint. And then this on the lid. Let me get this mirror out of here. Take a look. So on this side we have, as you know, the darker highlighter, which I'll want to get that right, Fire Opal. Everything else is the same. And we have a little fire opal on the eyelid as well. And on this side, we have the lighter Sun Story, which is golden. Might go a little too golden if you have a lighter skin tone. And there's what? Like a gajillion more shades? There's 10. That's a lot of shades for a highlighter. But I can tell you right now, this will work on the body, of course, and it's beautiful on the eyes. Just beautiful on the eyes. Wow. Pretty. Performs well, too. So it's earlier in the morning here. And I am going to let you know how this performs as I edit. You know, I'll have about 2 hours or so of wear. So you can see that's really looking blingy, isn't it? And this is really looking like a blush or a blush topper, I think. But, you know, there's no rules. Do with it what you will. Could look pretty on the lips, too, with a lip gloss over it. Really pretty, lovely packaging. Really, I mean, it's really come into its own. I'm calling the Amazon launch quite a few years ago a kind of pre-run, right? This is really pretty. Yeah, I was hesitant. I'm not going to lie. I was hesitant, and I'm really pleased. This is very, very pretty, and I think this is worth you guys taking a look at. I really am impressed with the way, sorry, I'm disorganized here. I really am impressed with the way that this works and the way it's smoothed out. It's so intense when you swatch it, but when you put it on, wow, I was really impressed with how it blended, and there's 20 shades. I mean, there's like a bright green, a bright blue. I just chickened out and got something because I didn't know. I knew it was going to be a first impression, and I didn't want to, frankly, make a fool of myself. I admit it. So I'm sorry I'm lopsided here. I'll go even it out before I film my intro. But I'm really actually quite impressed by what I thought would be kind of a throwaway product. This one is really worth it. The highlighter, the bronzer, you guys, it's a good bronzer, but you know, unless you are dying for a perfect shade match because there's so many shades in her bronzer, that would be great. But I'll tell you, this is cool. It's very, very pretty with no smell or peppermint. This blends like a dream. These highlighters are, I'm going to say it, innovative. I haven't seen highlighters really in these shade choices. And the bronzer is cool in the fact that it comes in so many kind of undertones. You might be able to find it here if you haven't had luck with bronzers. If you have a bronzer you love, though, you can go ahead and skip the bronzer if that makes sense. But ask me any questions below. I have seen and looked at all of the other items from the collection, including the other shades in person as well. So I hope that I can answer any questions that you have. Put those all down below. Sorry about the mismatched here, but, you know, we're just trying things out. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it. I sure hope that you did, and if you haven't already done so, for goodness sake, please subscribe to my channel so that I don't miss any of you in the next video. Bye-bye.